Jeff, let's say somebody wanted to get early episodes of the show. Is that possible?
It is so possible.
If people wanted to get bonus episodes of the show, is that possible?
We got those too.
If people wanted to get like extra stuff, like video hangouts with us and other fans of the show, is that possible?
Dude, I'm telling you, all of that and more is possible. All they got to do is support the show.
How do they do that?
Go to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. Find out all the information you need and help us continue to make this show. Brilliant plan.
That's my plan, to turn my wife into an esports champion. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens. You know that the moment I can get me a robot arm that's just as good as a human arm,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get one.
But not as third arm. You're gonna lop off that old fleshy arm.
Get rid of this flesh arm.
Yeah.
Time for new arm. Time
Lop
for
it right
robot
off.
arm.
Yeah. Upgrade.
Upgrade is what we call that.
Is it time now? Are we lopping arms?
Time's getting close.
I
According to
got
a
my
story,
good lopping axe.
There you go. According to a story sent in by Brian Towns, who sent in a lot of stories.
I think he's got a nickname.
Ooh, don't call me on that.
I just did.
Sorry, Brian. I feel like you probably do have a nickname.
I think it's like Brian the City Towns.
That sounds like something I would do.
I think it's like
it might be Brian the City Towns. Let me know what your nickname is, dog.
Yeah.
I believe the Mighty Eagle was making a list of those nicknames.
Yeah, she was.
If she has that, share me on that Google Doc, Mighty Eagle. Let me know what's up. He sent this in. It is about a self-healing electronic skin that lets amputees sense pressure and temperature on prosthetic limbs.
You kind of glossed over that self-healing part. That seems important.
I didn't gloss over anything, baby. We're just getting started.
All right.
Here's what's up. The University of Colorado at Boulder, scientists have created what they're calling this e-skin.
E-skin.
Yeah, it's like
that's good branding.
You leave behind skins just as hobby or fun, and then you're professionally competing in skin.
Yeah. I've been thinking of.
I am a professional skin competitor.
I've been thinking of getting into e-skin casting.
Yeah,
where I just describe how e-skins are feeling and what they look like.
I want to be a commentator.
Yeah.
For electronic skin.
I'm just gonna cast. Just gonna be like, wow, that skin. Oh, the skin is self-healing.
Hey, can we check out those pores? Let me zoom in on these pores. Now that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's a good pore structure, good arm hair grouping on that.
You know what he's gonna have to look out for? Abrasions.
Absolutely.
Abrasions can happen to any patch of skin, anywhere on the body, e-skin or other.
Somebody can give you one of those rug burns.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to say that anymore, huh? That's
how you're Jeff Canada fired from professional e-skin casting.
That's how I lost my e-skin casting role.
So basically, this is like a thin, semi-transparent material that can act like skin by measuring temperature, pressure, humidity, and airflow.
Just like my skin does.
Just like it kind of does.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not thinking about it as doing that, but it's doing that.
Yeah, in its own.
That's what your nerves are doing.
Non-helpful way.
Yeah, it's very helpful.
I mean, it's helpful, I guess.
But you are thinking the same way I'm thinking, which is, could this electronic skin not be more helpful?
Give me that data.
Give me more of that data in my brain box.
That's right.
The new material could make better prosthetics, improve the safety of robots in the future, and aid in the development of other biomedical devices. So
we're going to put skin on robots?
We're going to put skin on everything, baby. Everything's going to be covered in skin.
Yeah.
It's going to be a nightmare.
Just skin on
Just
skin on skin.
Disgusting nightmare.
Yeah.
You're going to get into your car. You're going to sit on skin. You're going to touch your steering wheel. It's skin. looking to use the touch screen on your navigation.
Yeah.
Also skin, my friend.
iPhone 10, skin.
All skin.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that fingerprint reader, it's back. And it's one fingerprint touching another.
It's like ET. You just reach out and touch another finger and now you're unlocked your phone.
Congratulations. We live in a nightmare. Everything is skin. Thank you, University of Colorado.
It's all skin.
It's skin all the way down.
Yeah.
No, but what they're talking about is like, yes, the coolest, grabbiest, most exciting use of this is definitely putting this skin on a prosthetic arm or a prosthetic limb and allowing people right now, if you have a prosthetic arm, if you have a robot arm and you grab a can of soda, you have no idea how hard you're grabbing that can of soda.
Right.
You have to trust the robot arm to sense it right now through feedback,
Right.
like actual physical motion feedback, and know that it's not crushing this thing, and also know that it's holding it as tightly as you want.
And we've made some progress in that regard. Like we've got arms that do that.
Absolutely.
But how does this skin help find out how hard I'm pressing the can?
Because it is pressure sensitive, in addition to being heat sensitive.
Yeah.
It knows just by how much pressure is being pushed on it, how hard it's gripping something.
I see. So it's a surface that's giving feedback to the arm as well. And you're able to, just like our actual skin does, you're able to sense pressure.
Exactly.
Wow.
So that's the biggest headline use of this stuff.
Right.
But it's not actually skin. It doesn't look like skin. You don't need to be terrified of it. But if you want to picture it that way, that's cool. That's how I'm picturing it. But imagine you have a baby.
I don't have to imagine that, Anthony. I did that.
Oh, why?
So that I could better do these thought experiments with you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So we can like experiment on your baby.
I have a hard time imagining I have anything. So when you say, imagine you have a baby, I go out and get one.
Yeah.
I made that.
I just have a problem conceptualizing. So you said once, hey, imagine having a baby. And I was like, gotta do it.
Gotta get on that.
9 months later,
yeah,
I'm in for life.
I came back and I was like, okay, now I can imagine it. Now, what did you want me to think about?
And I was like, I haven't seen you in 9 months. What are you talking about? And we could have hung out during those 9 months. I feel like it doesn't need to be 24 hours a day active.
I was working on it though.
So you have a baby. The baby is put into what do they call the area where the babies go in the hospital? Baby place.
Yeah, the baby place.
Baby
Maternity
place.
ward?
Maternity ward where they go in the little baby boxes. What do they call baby boxes?
No, baby box works.
Baby box works. Okay, so they're in the maternity ward in a baby box. And right now, they are laying on a blanket.
Oh, you're going to put babies on skin?
Yes. And do you know why?
Skin to skin, baby. I did that skin to skin when my son was born.
It's
skin
important
to
for
skin
the
is really
baby to get skin to skin with the box so it builds a bond with the box.
You need to love that box.
And then you have to take the box home and you also have to raise the box.
Oh, man. That's
You're
a lot of
responsible for
responsibility.
both. No, it's because right now the baby is lying there. It's being observed. It's certainly hooked up to a thermometer. It's hooked up to as many instruments as it can be. But what if that baby could be laying there and because of the sensors that are inside the baby box, we are getting tons of temperature data, motion data, pressure data, all kinds of stuff that we can then read. Changing the pressure data around the area of the baby's chest lets us know how the baby's breathing.
Right. That's cool.
You know, all these different things. We can monitor the baby's heartbeat. We can do all these things without hooking the baby up to a bunch of stuff. And we can get more data than we ever have. Now, take that and extrapolate it to any medical sensing device that we need.
Yeah.
You go in for a checkup, you touch a pad.
Yeah.
Right?
Just feel it. Just feels you back.
Maybe
it's pretty cool.
Maybe you're in the hospital or you go in for observation and you wear a gown that's made of this stuff.
Yeah, skin gown.
A skin gown.
Yeah.
Finally, a skin gown that I can't be arrested for.
Finally.
And you know what? I don't think I can be arrested for the previous skin gown, even though I have been.
Right.
They could arrest me. They couldn't hold me.
No, they'll never catch you.
Where'd the skin come from? They said. And I said, I don't know.
You got to have body in order to know that the skin came from a human.
I don't know.
It's just my
tell
gown.
me is what
That's
I
just
said.
my clothes.
This is skin gown. I don't know where. Go on the internet. You can get a skin gown. I'll get you a skin gown by 3:00. How do you know?
Skingown.com.
Skingown.net.org.co.
You know what I'm looking forward to? When that cold little stethoscope thing is just lovely skin.
It's just a nub of skin. It's like a third nipple.
Just a little nipple that they press against your chest.
It's a nipple against your chest. And they go, oh, the nipple says your heartbeat's great. According to the nipple.
Answer to the nipple.
And the nipple knows all.
So we could theoretically put my baby in a skin pod and have all the information be told to me through skin data.
Through skin data, baby, the best kind of data.
You know
what I'm saying?
Wear
skin data.
Wear skin gowns when we go to it's all skin.
It's all skin, baby. Why are we so afraid of it?
Now,
I'm skin, you're skin. The future is skin.
Are we
just loosen up, everybody? Let's get that skin data.
Loose skin.
Like get that
everywhere.
Loose skin. You're gonna have loose skin. You might as well let it happen now, baby.
Is this a semantic thing? Is this just a pressure and heat sensitive surface? Or does it actually have qualities that are similar to skin?
Well, they don't say that it's, it feels the most like skin.
Yeah.
And they don't say that it looks the most like skin.
Right.
But it's skinnish in that it can cover things and it's soft and it's flexible.
Replace all our skin with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess the reason it's called skin is because we'll put it around prosthetic appendages.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you would imagine that if it's kind of a plasticky or a rubbery sort of material, we can certainly dye it a color.
Yeah.
That's easy. And then it looks even more like skin.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there, baby. Robot arm.
Robot arm looks like skin.
Looks like skin.
Now, do you want your robot arm to look like a regular arm and just have properties that are more powerful than your fleshy arm? Or do you want, when you walk into a room, everyone knows that you could throw them across the room into the wall because your metal arm gleams?
I'm so glad you asked this because I've given it a lot of thought.
Yeah.
I think about my future robotic appendages a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And there is an aesthetic of robot arm that I will accept without prosthetic skin.
You want that gleam or you want not that gleam?
So I don't want like a Terminator thing. I don't want you seeing pistons and things like and gears or whatever.
Okay.
I don't want a steampunk. I don't want like an 80s or 90s cyberpunk sort of look. Now, if it is that sort of like anime metal bands in the shape of an actual arm.
Like it.
Like
what about that?
Maybe there's a light. Like if there's a light up at the shoulder, that's kind of dope. Like, one of those big round lights for no reason.
That's good. That like kind of indicates a joint, but doesn't.
It doesn't indicate anything. It just looks dope as shit.
Yeah.
Why not put it there if you can?
What about that sort
cool
of
metal fingers but they look like fingers and they bend like fingers,
Yeah. What about that sort of future plastics white glossy look?
That's my jam.
Yeah, I figured that was all. You're all over that.
And even if it has like some black or some orange, like kind of like a brawn, like a brawn radio or turntable aesthetic, like a mid-century.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's very good. I would absolutely take that arm, and I would walk in and I would have this gleaming white arm, and I'd just be like, "What's up, everybody? It's me." Your friend with the robot arm.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. We don't need to talk about it. We've probably already talked about it.
You probably talked about it before I got here.
I probably just been talking your ear off about it.
This is why I got invited to this party.
And now you have a prosthetic robot ear.
Yeah.
And it looks as cool as my robot arm.
My white, shiny robot ear is all I could afford.
Oh, God, man. If something with one of those two aesthetics or something that is indistinguishable Skywalker style.
I like the guy that aspires to the arm but can only afford the ear.
Yeah, right?
And it's just like he's starting small. He's going to work up to the whole cybernetic body, but he's got to start with small things like an ear or like a big toe, Can
I tell you, I've discussed this with my wife. And I've literally said to her, if you can start replacing human parts with robot parts that are better, I'm going to do it, right? And she's like, she's like, if you do too many, if you start small like that and you do too many, she's like, that's a RoboCop situation. I was like, I'm never going to look like RoboCop. My goal is not to look like RoboCop.
It's just to feel like RoboCop.
Yeah. She's like, well, where does it stop? I was like, I don't know, brain in a robot body. That's probably where it stops.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, that's exactly where it stops. Because I believe you need that original brain.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the copies. We've talked about this.
OG brain.
Moving the data is not a copy, or is a copy. It's not a movement of data.
Right.
Need that OG brain.
Got to have that OG brain.
Got to have that OG brain in a beautiful robot body. Now, if it was full robot body, I would not want to look entirely like a robot. I think
and then you need some of the skin we're talking about.
Yeah, I think one limb is
somewhere.
Cool. One limb is cool.
One limb is cool. Not more than one limb? Both arms can't match?
No.
A leg sticking out somewhere?
One arm, one leg, but opposite sides is also cool.
Ah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. I think you want to try to leave the head alone as much as possible.
You don't want to have that sort of like one eye gleaming face like the dude from Mortal Kombat, Cyborg, or Cyborg from DC Comics.
Not a Kano or a Cyborg. No, I think now I would replace the eyeball itself with something that could look like a human eye, but also could glow at opportune moments. You know what I'm saying?
You want the option. You don't want it always glowing.
Not always glowing.
Right.
No.
But only when you have an intense anger.
Here's what I think. I think any change
Or
aesthetically.
when you're searching for a young boy in an arcade.
Sure. I think any change to the face is major, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what people associate with you.
Right.
And so if I change my eye, I no longer go for a robot-looking limb.
Oh.
Right? It's like you don't want to mix like stripes and polka dots. You don't want to have too much. Like if you're wearing like a really loud pair of Flyknit sneakers, you probably want a plain t-shirt. You know what I'm saying?
This is cybernetic enhancement as fashion.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
But not just fashion, Jeff. Fashion that lets me punch through walls.
Right.
The best kind of fashion.
The best kind of fashion. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. If I can get a superpower and look cool doing it, whew.
I feel like there's a lot of pressure now, though.
My wife is terrified about this, Like legitimately terrified because she knows that I'm serious.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I can see that.
Wouldn't you do it though?
Fuck yeah. I mean, honestly, I would go brain in a new body in a moment, and I do not care how it looks.
I worry about Metallo style things happening to me though. I want to know.
What do you mean Metallo style things?
Where it doesn't feel exactly human, and so Metallo goes crazy and loses his moral center.
Right. You don't have a moral center.
Fair. 100% fair. But I would like to know before going in how different it's going to feel.
Right. You don't want to be patient zero on this one.
No. So like having an arm where it's like, oh, okay, I am getting feeling. There are receptors for pain and for feeling and for heat. And
why do you want receptors for pain?
Well, you can control it, but like
off. That's how I would control it.
But having that stuff and knowing like, oh, this feels like a human arm, but a little different. And now I know how it feels, right? You would almost have to take it limb by limb and piece by piece to really, I don't know, man. I think head and torso are important. That's what I'm getting. I think head and torso are important.
Like head, shoulders, knees and toes.
Not knees and toes, but definitely head and shoulders. And, a little above the knee too. I'd like to keep some of that area if I could.
That does feel essential to certain.
Although I don't know, I've seen a lot of like weird, cool kitchen appliances and stuff. Maybe there are improvements that can be made down there too.
Yeah.
I want to know. Yeah. I'm open to that. I'm married. What is she into? What does she want?
I guess that's her
know
call.
What I'm saying?
Maybe that's where you bridge the gap.
That's where I bridge the gap. Yeah. You start with the penis. That penis was pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
We like the penis. I'm going to go ahead and get an arm. And if you like the penis, you're going to love the arm. And here's why. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the way you do it.
That's a good strat.
That's a very good strat. I think that's pro strats. And it all starts with this electronic skin, Jeff. Yeah.
Oh, you definitely want skin on the penis, I think.
I don't know.
You don't want gleaming white. I mean, I guess that's her call.
Once again, kind of her call.
Yeah.
But you definitely want a soft touch plastic.
I like this skin. I'm into this skin.
You're going to love this skin, baby. You're going to love the way you look. I guarantee it. I think this is a great first step towards a lot of things. And once again, using this, I mean, we're goofing, but using this in things like cars, industrial robots and machinery and things like this are going to make them much more
If everything's a sensor, if every service is a sensor, then we know more about the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if every penis is a sensor, well, I don't know. We'll have to get there.
Yeah.
We'll have to get there, and we should.
I mean, in a way, every penis is a sensor in its own way.
Yeah. I learned that in 6th grade.
Sensor? I don't even know her.
And there it was. How do you feel about this? What uses do you see for this that we have not foreseen?
Yeah, you ready to replace your body piecemeal? Or are you going to jump in whole hog?
Are you thinking about whole hog? Are you thinking about the more industrial and everyday uses of this in objects around our house?
Yeah.
Let us know.
What are you going to put skin on?
What do you want to cover in skin? Let us know on Twitter. I'm at A Carboni.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
You can hashtag those Metallo, or you can talk about it on our Facebook group with other concerned citizens.
Oh, we got such a really cool Facebook group. It has grown. It grows every week. Mm-hmm. More people hanging out, posting stories, talking about the show. It's really fun to see.
Yeah, you can do that at facebook.com/groups/we have concerns. And remember, if you'd like to cover your own skin, See what I did there?
It's all we've got right now. Until we get this technology out to the masses, the only thing that's comparable is our clothing.
Our high quality merchandise that is basically a replacement for human skin. You can
some
check
say
it out.
it's made out of some.
But they cannot prove it.
They can't.
And you can see for yourself at wehaveconcerns.com/shop.
Come for the shirts. Stay for the human skin.